Hello and welcome back to FlowState. For the past week, I have been vomiting and shitting myself due to some pretty gnarly food poisoning. Happy fucking New Year! So I hope everybody's been doing well, have experienced a fantastic Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or none of the above. I had a tremendous week with my family. The weather's been just fucking epic. As you can see, Tayday is snow-capped. We went up there a few times to experience the snow. It was fucking freezing. And I am now just feeling almost back to normal, about 98.5.999%. And I missed last week's flow state because I was completely fucked up. I was in bed, incredible shooting pains, and just gnarly fucking recovering from food poisoning. And had an absolute feast on the 24th and the 25th. It was amazing. We did a live stream. Oof, look at this. I don't know if you can see this. Chemtrails, baby. Oh, what's happening? Oof. Gnarly. It's real, baby. It's real. We had an amazing feast. We did a hot mess kitchen stream, more kid focused, and we built a gingerbread house for the first time, which was so much fun. We also ate oysters with some black truffle and some caviar. We prepared this incredible pan-seared duck breast, finished with an incredible red wine, shallot, butter sauce with the drippings of the duck breast, as well as some roasted potatoes, where I would say they were parboiled and then fried in olive oil. Oh fuck, amazing. This delicious cream that I infused with tangerine and lemon juice, so good, with a little bit of thyme. Plus we had this fresh bread with some goat cheese and some, it's actually a local, meaning the north of Spain, dessert. It's called turrón, and it's like a nut-based sweet thing. And then with this aged Italian balsamic vinegar and with some local honey. It was so good. Amongst other things, it was a delectable delight. And the kids had a blast with the stream. It ended up being 5 hours. It was quite a project. And unfortunately, we got sick. I don't know from what it was. Could have been the oysters. And just as a precaution, we tossed the other case that we got. Fortunately, there was only 10 oysters in each case. And we also went to dinner at this restaurant where we had a fantastic kind of like a more brothy paella. Paella is normally dry, and they do a version of it that is a little bit more creamy, like a risotto, for example. So we enjoyed that, and then went to the Christmas market at 4 a.m. the following morning. It was like instant. My wife and I both woke up fucking in shooting pains, and let me tell you, the bathroom was fucking disgusting. So fortunately, the kids were not affected by this. They ate everything but the oysters. So that's like the only thing that leads us to believe that it was the oysters. The thing is, we had consumed this like almost 2 days before. And anytime I've had an issue where I can link it back to an oyster, it's pretty much immediate. So anyways, ChatGPT says the incubation period could be up to 2 days. I trust it. And nonetheless, here we are. Welcome to FlowState. And if you're just dropping in for the first time, welcome to Everyday Action. My name is Eric Fate. We're all about alignment, personal development, not taking any shit from yourself or from anybody around you, and leading with love and momentum is really the cornerstone of what we're all about. Structure, momentum. Oh fuck, this is pretty nasty here. Do we do it? Do I get like completely fucking, oh shit, oh fuck. Woo, baby. It's a good thing I got my camo shirt on here. Oh shit. Fucking, I really don't want to be fucking full of, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Alright, I did it. Ah! It's a big ass tunnel. Whew. Ah. Oh yes, feels good to be back and alive, and it just is such a reminder to all of us how sensitive we all are. You know, 1 minute you're fucking setting PRs in the gym, feeling like nothing can stop me. Beautiful family, thriving business, everything's going great, relationships, then bam, you're in bed, fucking balled up in the fetal position, just wishing it would all end. And it just is such a powerful reminder to live your fucking life, man. Live it. Not in some half-assed way, but really just lean in to everything that you have going on. Lean into everything that you want to achieve, and fuck them. Fuck everybody else, okay? They're not you. You're the one who has to live with yourself. You're the one, positive, negative, neutral, whatever it is. It's all about you at the end of the day. Now, this is not to say that you don't have a family, that they're not dependent on you, they don't have responsibilities and job and, you know, all of these things, of course. But you're not going to be the best version of yourself if you don't prioritize yourself. That's clear. And man, the ocean is super. What is that? Sorry, it was crazy. It's like some weird shit out there. And you're never going to be able to support people that you love, that you cherish, if you're not looking out for yourself, not looking out for your own interests, not prioritizing your sleep, not prioritizing your personal development, not prioritizing your hobbies, your passions, the things that you used to do before becoming a parent. Now, without getting into too much kind of like, let's say, let me rephrase that, okay? You lose yourself to some degree. But it's not really that you lose yourself, it's that you essentially put the pause, you press the pause button on yourself. And if you have to oversimplify what I do, I unpause you. I unpause the gap that you have put onto yourself and has quietly consumed your identity. Or at least that's the impression that that's happened. And, whew, you know, I gotta take my little sweater off. Things are, let me just put this down here. Oh shit. Let's see if I can do this without ripping off the microphone. Oh, feels good. Feels fucking good to be alive. All right. Feels fucking good. The sun. More or less okay. Hello. All right, this is a little tricky spot here. I gotta concentrate. Not as wet as I thought. Did I say Happy New Year? Happy fucking New Year, guys. Happy New Year. This is January 2nd. And what a way to kick off the new year is to reclaim your universe, the one that you forgot you even had, the one that you held on to for so long and then woke up with a beautiful family, and yet the feeling of self-abandonment is so omnipresent, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Basically, pausing yourself, losing yourself in the process, the 5, the 10 years that you invested so much into your family, your kids, your wife, your in-laws, the whole thing, right? Man, the ocean is super active today. Should we go down there? Let's go down there. Gotta make sure that I'm back. I have a meeting with my coach. I have a coach. I have 2 coaches, actually. I believe so much in everybody having a coach, at minimum, a champion for the world in which you want to create for yourself and how to close the gap in an effective way. You know, and parents, I'm speaking directly to you. I don't exclusively serve parents, but this is my primary mission, is to serve parents, because I am a parent. I know all too well the situation that comes with getting married, you know, falling in love, getting married, having kids, raising kids, being an entrepreneur, having to be responsible for everyone. I mean, that is the feeling that you have inside, right? The feeling that you are responsible for the physical well-being as well as the emotional well-being of your family unit. That is the responsibility of the parent. And I'm not saying because I'm a man that I hold more responsibility. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that as a parent, you have the burden that you have chosen to be in this state. Now, when you have clarity and when you deepen your understanding of what is important to you, and when you reconnect with that, oh shit. Oh, it's a little tricky here. Let me. Ooh. You know, I'm still a little depleted, that's for sure. And I've had like maybe 1,000 calories in the last week. It's been a little gnarly on the stomach. Maybe 2,000 calories. I don't know. Yesterday I ate a little bit more than, oh, the sun feels great. I think what I'm gonna do today is find a little place, set up the camera, and have a little chat while not exerting myself too much. It'd be so cool if there were a little tripod on this thing. I'm sure this is possible. Yeah, I'm gonna go back here. All right, set it up. Oh, whew. All right, let's get this. The sun is so beautiful today. Oh man, is this? Oh, hey, that's fun. All right, even cross my leg. All right. Let's see if I didn't totally fuck this thing up. Cool, great. Here we are. I feel like starting all over again. I cannot stress enough how good you feel after blasting through any kind of ailment, any predicament that is either self-induced or one that just happened and there's no controlling it, like getting food poisoning, right? It's this invisible thing that happens, and you could be at the top of the world feeling fucking absolutely amazing, and then bam, you're fucked up. You're fucked, like really fucked. There was shit coming out of my mouth and my asshole at the same fucking time. That is not pleasant for hours. Violent. The worst food poisoning I ever got was in the north of Spain, funny enough, during Christmas, maybe a few years ago. And that was like a solid week plus of just absolute, just destruction. This was about a week, but it was only 2 days that were really bad and really one day that was just awful. Like I could not get out of bed other than to go to the bathroom. So my point is this, okay? You know, we go through life with such a disconnection of awareness, and one of the biggest things that I've been focusing on in my practice of life and my coaching is presence. Really creating an opportunity of awareness within ourselves at every moment to be more intentional with regulating our thinking as it relates to what it is that we're engaged in the present moment. This is literally all you have, right? Everything else is just imaginary. And even reliving the past is an imaginary state. You're reliving, you're imagining something that happened. And your memory is completely fucked. Mine is fucked. We all have horrible memories. If you have an amazing memory, you are an outlier. And we humans tend to rewrite history whether we're conscious of it or not. I am advocating for you to rewrite history in an active way. And this week is the commencement of time management prioritization. If you're new to this channel, we're on an 8-week content rhythm. Each week is centered around one topic where we discuss the topic and join together every Thursday for our Thursday lives. The link is in the description. Please click the link. It only requires your email address and you to show up with intent on Thursday. And it's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. It's at no cost. You join the Everyday Action community and you are surrounded by like-minded individuals who are focused on personal development, specifically parents. And my point is that when everything is going great, you're not actually cognizant of the fact that it could turn at any moment. And I think reflecting on your own mortality is so important. There are some exercises that I think are very effective at driving awareness on a regular basis, and that is to write your obituary. Really imagine, put yourself in the state of wanting to create what someone would read at your time of death. Because it really is a snapshot of the totality of your life, condensed, depending on how much you got going on, in a couple of pages, or maybe if not much has happened, a short paragraph. And when you read that, you're going to feel all kinds of things. When you write it, when you read it, when you're contemplating it. And it really is a catalyst for how you want to live the last chapter of your life. Meaning, from the moment you are intentional with writing it, and then when you read it, you're locking in the way you want to live the rest of your life, the last chapter, or the last few chapters, whatever. Maybe a chapter is too short. But the point is that when you're participating in this, when you see yourself from the vantage point of your death, and then you're listening to it from the perspective of someone else, like a best friend, a loved one, or someone who you really admire, that you could see reading your eulogy or your, what is it called? I just forgot. Your obituary. Two different things, but the topic is the same, right? It's like going back and describing who you were as a person, your character, what your passions were, your family, how the world interacted with you, how you interacted with the world. And so when you go through this process, one of the things that happens is that it creates clarity in how you see yourself in the next chapters, next seasons of life, up to the point of your death. And this is incredibly powerful because it's all too humbling, and you never know when the end is gonna be for you, right? No one knows. We all have the same, more or less, amount of time. Everybody gets issued 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, but how much of that you actually have to use and leverage is completely unknown. And certainly there are days that you don't want to be doing what it is that you're doing, but you just have to fucking power through it. And I'm not talking about the mundane, boring shit that you have to do to sustain a business. That should never be something that you don't want to do, because if you've organized your life properly, and your life is based on your core values, because you've done the work, you've gone through the process, then even if it's boring, it's still a necessary component to that alignment. So you're removing this from the equation. What I'm talking about is overcommitting because you thought it'd be a good idea, but then you realized it wasn't, and then you felt it was too late to stop midway through, and you just sat there, or you just stuck it out because you thought you needed to be there. Even though it was a misalignment of values, you suffered through it. And maybe a little bit of that is fine, you can't escape it. But if that keeps showing up in your life, if it's something that's on repeat over and over and over again, that is consuming a huge amount of time, a huge amount of mental load. You only have so much bandwidth to go around every day. And to give up that precious time that you have for something that is not enriching your life, not moving you forward in a meaningful way, not actively aligned with your philosophy, with your life mission, then you're going to be slowly eroding the fabric of what I call your identity, the things that make up the daily actions, the practice, the communications that go in and out of your daily life. And those people that you're engaged with are going to feel it. They're going to feel either the connection or the distancing or the misalignment within us all, because it's palpable. When we're doing things we love, we're smiling, we're feeling good, the world reciprocates in kind. The universe is channeling that energy, and there's reciprocity in that. That fucking good energy is just going to be repackaged, and the seeds of goodwill are actively being planted, and you will reap the benefit of them if you're able to sustain that energy that you have within. I mean, it's all physics at the end of the day, right? And quantum physics specifically. So the work that we do here is about clarity, momentum, and alignment. Because this is at its core the foundation to being able to accomplish and live a life that is completely whole. Clarity is really the biggest topic here, because when you have clarity, you alleviate all of the traditional symptoms that come with life: overwhelm, too busy, this feeling of burnout, this space within you that seems hollow, even though that you feel like you're constantly confronting mini battles that in your world need to be handled objectively before you can move on to the next thing. And it seems like everyone else gets your attention but you, because your guardrails aren't up. They're in this reactive state. And the work that we do is centered around creating clarity first. And it's a process. So the Growth Blueprint is a curriculum that I train and teach. There's also the Growth Blueprint course, which is available for those who are interested in self-paced learning. That you can check out on the website as well. And the first module is free for everyone. So if you're interested in getting a little taste, I would encourage you to check it out. It starts with an assessment and readiness course, which is so vital, which is the thing that's available for free. The first course is available for free. So it's so vital to get clarity on where you stand today, right? It is the foundation for everything that comes next. Because without clarity on your current life situation, there's no real capacity for you to make the assessment of where you are, how you're feeling as it relates to your inner ecosystem, which is a concept that we talk about in that course. How you relate to your family life, your family life, your business, your social life, your passion, your vitality, all of these things come together. And they're all working together, whether you like it or not. And whether you're choosing to allow for this idea to happen or not, it's just a fact. These things are at play. So you might as well be present and in charge of your world, as opposed to reacting to all of the shit that's inevitably coming your way if you're not fucking strong and focused and clear and know exactly what the fuck you want, what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do. And after that, we shift into vitality. Man, without the energy, it's gonna be an uphill fucking battle, and it's gonna suck. So you might as well get your shit fucking locked in. Nutrition, rest, recovery, and training like a motherfucker. Because without that, life's not really life. Life's not something that you're capable of living fully unless you take care of your body, unless you're actively doing hard things on a regular basis and recovering appropriately, resting appropriately, taking care of your body, your mind, sleeping well, having quality relationships that nourish your soul, that fuel your momentum and ambition. This is so important. And some people within this work really need to focus on this aspect for a considerable amount of time just to get their head straight, to get them out of the gutter. And so many people I speak to have been so suboptimal for so long, they don't even know what good fucking feels like. Man, after you create a solid foundation for charging your power plant that is within all of us, then we move on to core values. The core values work is really the most draining because it requires so much honesty and time and space to think clearly about the guiding principles of your life, how you are choosing to move every moment of every day in alignment with those values. And so that process I find to be one of the most rewarding and just inspiring and beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps right now because I know how powerful it is. This was such a revelation for me. This curriculum took me about 9 years to make, and I'm still refining it. But the first version 1.0 came at the end of a 9-year journey that I didn't even fully understand what that was happening until about the end of that 9-year journey, after a conversation I had with a good friend, and I realized it was a coaching conversation, and I was implementing that framework in that call. And it was then that I took that feeling and I said, okay, I'm going to be investing and building in this and pivoting into a coach and being able to support and help people like I did for me, but for others, and specifically with parents, because I find that parents have this really, it's hard to describe if you're not a parent. You had your life, you were fucking full on, you met your beautiful partner, you had kids, and then all of a sudden things shifted and you weren't even fully aware that they were shifting. And you know, the reality of life can be so overwhelming if you're not really grounded and focused on what it is that you want and what you don't want. So those are two different things, by the way, you know? They're not necessarily duality. It's not like choosing one thing and then not wanting the opposite as well. It could be two different things. And so there's definitely a process where you're feeling like this deep disconnection between who you were before you were married, who you were when you were first married, and then during the pregnancy, after, and then the 5 to 10 years after your child is born. It can be super fucking rough. And, you know, both you and your partner's hormones are all out of whack. And then for men too, you know, and postpartum is real, and there's no controlling how your body is going to respond to all of this. There is a way of controlling and processing the information in a way that our rational mind is so good at, provided you have the tools and the structure, and most importantly, the support to get you through that process. It's not fun doing it on your own. And I'm not just talking about relying on your partner who's going to be there for you. They're busy. They got their kids, they got their life, they got their internal monologue running. They got their hormones fucking bang bang all over the fucking place. You got your in-laws, you got the fucking rent, you got your job. It's like, fuck. What about me? What about me? Man, it can be rough. And I feel for everybody out there doing this right now, living it in this moment. And I hope this video found you at the right time. And the algorithm has an incredible way of showing things to people when they need to see it. And I hope this is that for you. And the one thing you should do in this moment is to take action. If nothing else, click the link in the description. Sign up for Everyday Action Live Thursdays. It's the first link. That's the first step. You'll get a 90-day email course delivered right to your inbox, all about the 10 steps to everyday action. And it's not going to take you very long. This is not an in-depth thing. And just to get you started, just to get you thinking slightly differently about your current life situation. So after core values, we shift right into mindset. Really shifting, really focusing on growth, really focusing on creating growth, and really shattering limiting beliefs, and really shattering this idea of going back too much into the past about anything. Let me tell you, it doesn't really fucking matter. It doesn't matter what was done to you, or what you did to someone, or what you thought people were doing to you. You know, obviously you don't want to be in an abusive situation, and patterns of abuse need to be addressed and need to be handled immediately, okay? You don't want to go back to old patterns, and the past is really a tool to inform your present moment, okay? But it's not a place that you want to be living in. And so many people, so many of us live in the past or the future, and they just reject the present moment. And mindset mastery is all about shifting that. It's all about reclaiming your past, rewriting it, not reinventing it, but rewriting meaning that you gave to moments in your past that really you're bringing into the present and are dictating your current state, your actions, your mood, how you show up with yourself, how you show up with other people. And it's amazing how much of a loop we live in. And there's no breaking out of that loop. What you can do is redefine the loop, because we're living in a loop. Every moment of every day is just another feedback loop. And so we want to capture that attention and redefine that loop so that it's in alignment with what we want, and we can start generating momentum in the direction that we want to generate. This is massive, because we're all operating on a loop. We're all operating on a feedback loop. Idea, awareness, action, reinforcement of that action, idea, awareness, action, reinforcement of that action. And it's just perpetual, always, 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 always. And you can be derailed super fucking hardcore from what you want and what you actually end up doing. After mindset, we shift our focus to time management and prioritization. Really educating ourselves on how to effectively leverage tools to better utilize our time. You know, you get 24 hours in a day. Hopefully you're sleeping anywhere from 7 to 9 hours, and you're doing that consistently. You're training, you're investing with your friends and family, and you have your work responsibilities. And then you need time for yourself. You need personal time, which is different than going to the gym, which is different than going for a run, going surfing, or taking care of your body. It is the same, but it's also different. Your hobbies, your interests, your passions. Now, you can be passionate about bodybuilding or CrossFit or cycling or golfing or all these different things, and that's amazing. But there's more. You have more in you. You used to do fill in the blank, and now you no longer. Not for any reason, but time or other responsibilities or priorities or whatever. After time management and optimization, aligned action. Beautiful stepping stone towards seeing clearly into the future, right? So let's recap. You got clarity on where you are. Then you started figuring out your vitality. So important. Then core values. Then mindset. Then time management. Then finally, we get to being able to set goals for ourselves. You can't set goals based on anything other than your values. It's not going to work. It's just not going to happen for you. You need to know what your values are first in order to know that the goals you're setting are actually the ones that you want, the ones that are going to fucking move you and push you forward. Fill your soul with fucking raw power, right? Fucking downloaded from the cosmos, you know? Fueled by that vitality and that ambition and that fucking power, that pump you get from doing a solid cardio session, getting your muscles fucking activated, your brain firing on all cylinders. This is what it's all about, living in an abundance of energy. Optimization and refinement. This is massive. This is when we're reflecting. This is when we're analyzing the data that we've accumulated to make sure that things are working. And if they're not, we know how to effectively refine slowly. We don't want to just rewrite a whole system. That's not effective. What you do want is to make small incremental adjustments over time and be patient. This is not a Ozempic type situation. This is a whole philosophical lifestyle change centered around you and what you want. The Growth Blueprint framework is simply that. It's a framework that you can actually live inside wholly, authentically, and just be yourself again in a way that is structured, but also dynamic and open to spontaneity and improvisation and all of this, but all grounded around your values, all grounded around this idea that you know what you want out of life, you know what you want out of the next year, the next 5 years and 10 years. And that's the alignment process. It's not about what you want out of the next 6 months or the next month. That's an important thing, but it's less important than what you want to feel at the end of the year, what you want to accomplish over the course of a year. It's important to get granular, but it's more important to take a broad view of things. After optimization and refinement, commencement. This is where we gel everything together, where we fuse it into one cohesive unit so that your mind is constantly operating within this framework that creates ultimate potential within yourself to do and be and show up however you choose to. One of the things that we train on is being intentional with your emotional state, how you want to feel throughout the transitions of your day. So every day you go through thousands of transitions. Every doorway, every threshold, every shift in task, shift in energy is a transition. A great example, I think one of the biggest ones, is ending your workday and starting your family life. So you can't be an effective employee, leader, entrepreneur, business person if your mind isn't present on the work. So you shouldn't be thinking about anything other than the work when you're working, and you shouldn't be thinking about work when you're not working, okay? Now, there's time and space to be thinking about work when you're not working. This is very true for entrepreneurs, okay? And people who are actively engaged in more dynamic type work. If you're working in retail, you have permission to check the fuck out after your 9 to 5 or whatever it is, okay? You might have great ambition, which would require you to focus on things that you're looking to do outside of work, but it's not directly correlated to the work that you're doing in hand, right? That's like a different thing. And I want to say this because so many of us bring the work home into our home life. And this is toxic. This is not time for work. It's time to love your partner, to love your kids, to hug them with such passion and energy because you're excited to see them. And if you're not, it's most likely because you haven't prepped the transition properly. You're bringing work shit into your personal life. You're not showing up in the best that you have to offer for your family if you're still holding on to that residual shit from your work. So, the exercise is this. And I'll just use this one example. Whatever it is for you is whatever it is for you, right? John leaves his work, gets in his car, drives home. And there were transitions getting to this point, but I'm going to keep this example really tight. John parks his car at the house, goes in, he's there, he's, physically there. His mind is still thinking about the TPS reports, Bob Lumbar. And then it just doesn't feel right because he's on his phone, he's just distracted, he's not fully present with his wife, his kids are there, maybe the young kids, and screaming, anxiety, it's like, turbulence. This is a grossly oversimplified version of this, example here. The right protocol is, and by the way, in that scenario, you are so much more susceptible to being captured by negativity and toxicity, and then that catalyzing into an argument, and then that argument creating a ripple effect for your evening and the tomorrow and all this shit, You don't want that. No one wants that. So the solution, and this fits into the bigger framework, is that, again, an oversimplified example here, he parks his car. And then you know what? He takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12, 20, whatever it fucking takes, okay, is basically the message. Now, ideally, you will have done these micro transition awareness exercises before that don't take any time. But in this kind of scenario here where we're just forgetting all of the stuff that comes before it, and we're just like, boom, end of day. You need to reflect on your day. You need to reflect on your emotional state, and you need to meditate and get clarity on how you are going to show up when you get out of that car and you greet your family. And you are going to summon the best, the absolute best of you. And anything short is unacceptable. Anything short of showing up for your wife, in this case it's John, he's a male, he's married with a wife. He has a couple of kids. Whatever, fill in the blank, make it all up, You do you. I'm just giving this an example. So John is there. It takes him 20 minutes to get clear, to get all of the day out of him in a clean, organic way, not relying on fucking drink or smoke or anything, you know? Just fucking sitting, not pulling out your phone, not distracting yourself from anything. Getting into it with yourself. Breathing, controlling that breath. You might get a whiff of anxiety because of something that just triggered you, thinking about something that happened earlier in the day. Whatever it is you must release all of it. You need to summon the best of who you are before you open that door. You need to choose your emotional state before you open that door. And you need to vocalize it. This is not a passive exercise. This is, I am choosing to feel calm. I am choosing to be in a state of gratitude for my family. I am choosing love. I am choosing an abundance of love and connection and presence and service to my beautiful family who loves me and supports me and wants the best for me and are so excited to see me. And you sit with that. You conjure these emotions within you. You channel the very fucking best of what you have. You close your eyes and you just meditate on that. You breathe. You relax yourself. Now there's some breathing techniques that we go through. There's all kinds of amazing tools. Again, oversimplified example here. And you do not open that door until you're ready. You're ready to receive what you just channeled. You're ready to receive the love, to make connection, to be present, to kiss with passion and love, and to embrace your kids like you haven't seen them in a year. That energy, that attitude, that joie de vivre, you know, that fucking richness of life that you are creating for yourself and your family. That's power, man. That's fucking power. To feel that within yourself, you created that within yourself because it's real. That's who your wife married in that example, right? Your kids look up to you like you're a fucking god. You're a superhero. You're everything, okay? So lead by example. Show up with the absolute best that you have to offer. You've put in the work. That part of you is done for the day, or at least for the next few hours. And if you open that door, and if you've primed yourself properly, and you live into what you just said you wanted, and you show up with a giant smile on your face, and you embrace your wife, and you give her a giant fucking kiss, and you just tell her that you love her, and you're so happy to see her, and you hug your kids, and you tell them the same thing, and then you start asking them about their day. How was your day? That's awesome. Tell me more. Oh, really? That's too bad. But shift to the positive. Or that's amazing. That's so exciting. Show up with energy, excitement, genuine curiosity. Then spend time with them. And you notice I haven't mentioned the phone or anything. That phone is gone. That's like in a distant universe. You don't need that phone. You don't want that phone. You don't want that loss of connection. You want to do everything that you can to preserve that intensity that you just conjured for yourself, that you now are living into it. You have to be proactive in thinking about how you want to feel so you can live into that state. Your kids, your wife, in that context, are everything. Again, I'm going based off an example. Could be your husband, it could be your boyfriend, whatever the fuck, you know, you get it. You will rock their world if you do this consistently. You will rock your fucking world. Now you apply the same framework to every meeting, every transition, getting in the car, getting out of the car. I'm gonna feel cool, calm, and collected while I drive to work. I don't care if someone cuts me off. I'm not going to let them capture me. Who do you think wins if someone cuts you off and you all fucking lose your shit like a full-on retard? Okay? They win, you lose. You're the one who got all fucking crazy. Don't be that person. Don't give up your power. You know? What are you gonna do? Why? What is the purpose? You've just lost like 10 years of your life getting upset over some dumbass shit that you can't control. You just can't control it. Fucking let it go, man. Let it go. If you show up like this every fucking day, if you prime yourself to give the best of what you have, to serve your wife, to serve your kids, serve your husband, whatever, right? You show up present and you don't pick up your phone. You turn it off. You help her with dinner. You fucking are active. You're present. You don't go into the home. You go your separate ways and you go on fucking Instagram, whatever, or whatever it is. You spend time, connect, be there. That's all you have. This is it, man. This is it. Your family unit is everything. Look, even if it's for 20 minutes, okay? That 20 minutes is priceless if you can show up with that intensity. All right, we're about 1 hour in. I'm going to be climbing up this mountain. I don't think I'm going to record going up. This was a killer flow. Thank you so much for dropping in. Let me get Tay-Day behind me. It's a little sunny. I don't know if you can see it. Do yourself a favor. Click the fucking links, man. Click the links. Take action. Drop into Everyday Action Live Thursday. Sign up for our newsletter. If you've gotten value out of this FlowState episode, please like, subscribe, and most importantly, share it with someone close to you, or someone who you feel is going to get the same amount of value, or someone who just needs to fucking hear me rant for an hour. If you're interested in exploring one-on-one coaching, you can reach out, drop a comment. I respond, I read to all the comments. If you have a question, there's a great opportunity to get direct responses from me. We get more inside the Everyday Action community, which is free for now. I encourage you to sign up. Have a wonderful new year, guys. We'll be back every Friday for FlowState and every Thursday for Everyday Action Live. Peace.